Episode 13 of The Bad Batch is titled Infested, and overall it was... I really wasn't all that happy with it, to be honest. I do have a lot to say about it, however, but the episode as a whole was just okay. However, seeing as I've really enjoyed the last 12 episodes, I suppose that's not that big of a deal. But this episode just felt really out of place, and I say that as in, we could have done without it completely. There's only 3 episodes left now, so I really expected the story to start ramping up towards the season finale, going back to where the show first started, The Bad Batch versus Crosshair, not giving us a full filler episode and introducing new characters so close to the end. However, with that in mind, I guess this could clearly point in the direction that there will be a season 2, which I would definitely be down for, but for all I know, the last 3 episodes could have 70 to 90 minute run times and just tie everything up. That is just wishful thinking, but let's actually talk about the episode. Infested felt really random, to be honest. The Bad Batch coming back after another job to find that Sid has been pushed out of her hideout and a new up-and-coming crime boss, a Deveronian by the name of Roland Durand, has put up shop on Ord Mantell was the last thing I was expecting to happen. But with the episode came some good moments, so not all was lost. I liked seeing Sid finally work with the Bad Batch, realizing that she's responsible for all of this. She decided to steal the spice from Roland, and now as a result the Pykes are holding Omega hostage as collateral. So hearing Sid say, "I got her into this and I'm going to get her out," was probably the most admirable thing she's done throughout the entirety of the show. And even then, I wouldn't go as far as to say I trust her now after doing just one good deed. On the other side of things, Roland Durand as a character was okay. I did like having the callback to previous episodes though, with the Bad Batch retrieving Ruby for a client, which turned out to be Roland, but the approach to his character was what really sold me. Every time a new villain comes into the field of any Star Wars content, they always have to be some pure evil and have horrible intentions. Roland, on the other hand, is trying to be a big bad underground player, just because he's expected of it. Roland's mother is Issa Durand, who is a big crime boss during this time in the galaxy, and because of this, Roland feels pressured to keep up the family name by following in his mother's footsteps, even though it clearly shows that he may not be cut out for the job. Omega even sees this. She spends a lot of time in this episode with Roland as they're both held captive while Sid and the Bad Batch retrieve the stolen spice, and as a result, Omega even pleads for Roland's life when it looks like the Pykes are about to kill him. Sid even does the same thing, saying that the Pykes do not want to start a war with Issa Durand. Fortunately for Roland, the Pykes only take one of his horns, which he calls a small price to pay. Hunter talks with Omega after, asking why she stood up for him. Omega says that maybe he's not all that bad, especially since Ruby likes him of all creatures, which I personally really liked. So maybe Roland will show back up again as an ally of some sort. That's something I think I would prefer, only because I see no use in having a throwaway character of his caliber just for this one episode. Other than that, the episode gets its name from the underground Ord Mantell mines, which is infested with a colossal nest of Earlings, nocturnal insects that pose a complication when the Bad Batch goes to retrieve the crates of spice they lost in the mines earlier. I will say it was a unique way to create a challenge, but I feel like there were other ways this episode could have done this, like the classic cargo getting mixed up with a random traveler bit. This just seemed odd. Plus, after dropping what appeared to be an oversized flashbang, the Earlings just flew away, leaving the Bad Batch able to get what they needed and get out quickly. So it just felt bland, and it kind of fell a little flat for me. Overall, unless these characters play some significance in other episodes, which of course by Star Wars standards means it's most likely possible, you can pretty much skip this episode and not miss much of anything. However, I have seen a few people say that after this episode, the last 3 are going to get dark, so who knows what's about to happen. But what did you think of Infested? Did this episode feel like pure filler to you? What did you think of Sid's involvement with the Bad Batch this time around? And do you think we're going to see Roland Durand again? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And remember, the Force will be with you, always.